Now, ladies and gentlemen, the scene is set for GAMBIT CLG. We've done Group A, we kick off our first game of Group B, and let's kind of gauge expectations for this one. Two teams, would you put them on equal stead?
No.
You really don't? You got no faith in CLG?
No, no faith, but I think it's a similar storyline of, well, again, Gambit's not going to be the equivalent of SK necessarily, but I would say that CLG are the underdog in Group B. They have the same, same similarities to Singularity in that sense, but otherwise, CLG have been playing better and better. They've just been steadily improving ever since they brought on Ricky. Yeah.
For me, I'm actually leaning more and more towards the boys from CLG, except that's exclusively because you've sold me on this break and you've kind of you've created this story that it does take a while to hit the ground running. I could see GAMBIT making a deep run playoffs, but day one, first game, CLG are hot. I'm actually leaning towards North America for probably the first time in a while.
All right, and I'm happy about that because, you know, my selling point worked. So now I can go with GAMBIT. I think, yeah, they might run into, you know, a couple of start issues, like engine trouble to start things off, but I think overall GAMBIT should be my favorite to take this.
There's no doubt that GAMBIT probably is the better team if we like put them up against each other in 2 months. Yeah. I really feel CLG has a great chance. You know, GAMBIT is by far the better team, no doubt, but I think CLG is going to take this.
With that in mind, the game has started here in Overpass. GAMBIT versus CLG, and it's CLG on the T side.
I'm looking forward to this. All right, we got Raid Boss Kusta, and as soon as this happens, when Kusta's...
I guess the map choice was a little bit of a struggle for me to like let Overpass through personally, but Chet was really confident that our Overpass was good enough. I really wasn't, just because we don't have that many strats on it. So going in, I guess that was probably our biggest concern, was the map itself.
Sometimes our vetoes confuse me, but I have to trust in them, so yeah. I mean, I'm not part of the veto process anyway, so when they tell us the map, like sometimes I don't even ask for the map and just show up in the server. It's not really a big concern for me usually.
Kusta as well on his, and that's what we want to be seeing. Kusta going off, nice connection from Dozier though. Didn't get the tag and might just try and play him with his P250. Tagging, Dozier, that's big, Cutler goes down, it's a 1v1. That could be a one-shot now. Kusta though takes the fight and wins it out. Nicely played in there from Kusta, that's the individual power.
Personally, I was just making sure that I remembered I'm playing a fucking video game, you know? So, it's like, there's nothing really to be afraid of if we win or lose.
At first, I honestly disagreed. I was like, man, I don't know about Overpass. I don't remember the other map that was, because we got to pick between the last two maps. I wasn't really sure I can't remember what the other map was, but I think I was a little bit more confident on the other map. It might have been Cash. And I was like, man, like I really want to play the other map, not Overpass, but I just let him pick Overpass because we're not awful on it.
Still, this is not the scoreline I expected or wanted to see. I actually want to see more from CLG in this. I kind of, you know, taking form into account, this should have been their scoreline. They should be sad 6-1, but they're not. They've kind of let the, I guess, you know, drop the ball a little bit here at this point. We'll see if they warm up into this game again. I think it's because the last time I watched CLG, they were in one of those high points where they were playing really well, so I kind of expect to see that on a consistent basis. Not here yet, and Zeus already just proving dominant towards that underpass
The
area.
T side will be more successful, but what can you do when Adren just pushes up, takes your orb out? Look
Zeus
at that.
being here.
Zeus, he has so much information. He hears them coming, he has the bomb. He doesn't hear the second guy though, but still like...
So we were running at a standard default, but the problem was Kenny lost a gun battle to somebody who pushed long, which kind of broke the default and caused rotations on our T side, which made Zeus want to push, and they were just really confident. Everywhere they pushed, every decision they made as far as getting aggressive was the best decision for them. And they were just really confident in hitting their shots. So at the pause, we just kind of talked about it and said, you know, like, all we have to do is hit our shots versus these guys. If we get our shots, they're making mistakes as we speak. Like, every round, they're making mistakes. This team makes a lot of mistakes, but they have really good aim. So if you could just be on par with their aim and get those few entry kills, we'll be able to win the round. We'll be able to close the round out.
Reset the pace,
so that's what we did.
Back, just take a new breath towards this. There's no need to commit or overcommit to anything.
And that is the correct choice.
And we're seeing the double up on the T side here. So Ricky and Kusta going for this one. Now Dren waiting for the push. Oh, Kusta! That's what I'm talking about. Dozier is going to push slightly further forward. Kusta. Oh,
that is beautiful.
I love it. More of this. I absolutely love watching these guys go.
We don't really have much practice double hopping because, I don't know, we had, what, like maybe a week between the minor and DreamHack Summer, so we kind of just busted it out. But it seems to be working well, and I think it plays to our strengths.
So when we're double AWPing, it's normally me and Kenny calling where we want to go at the start of the round, and the other players will position themselves depending on where we go. So it's a different way of calling, especially on like the T side as well. If you pick up the double AWP on T side, you need your AWPers to take the initial picks and go where they want to go to find a pick. So it changes the playstyle a little bit, but just the main thing is getting used to it, that's all. For
me personally, it was really challenging to call around it because the way I call, obviously, I only call with the one op. So when there's a double op, you kind of have to give them a little bit more freedom, which means when I can't call set strats anymore, I kind of have to let the ops play around the picks and then sort of mid-round. And that was a big challenge for me personally. And I even practiced before going to the tournament. We were practicing it and I was struggling to call. And sometimes we'd like end up running out of time and stuff. So it was pretty tough, but I got used to it.
Cutler removed, that's a nice hit. Finally bringing those Glocks to range. And Ricky does get, what? He got the first as well? He got Zeus down there?
Oh, okay, what? Close range AWP, Ricky, that's not supposed to happen, and it happens! Cutler on Zeus as well, and they make that 2v2 happen, Lauren. That was not supposed to go down like that.
Ethan again, pivotal role in this position, does find one, nicely done, very, very precise from Ethan. That's the shutdown you were looking for, and it's down to Ricky in a 1v2 to play this off. We know he loves a retake, but he's a mile away. He'll just leap in over this. Yes, he is! What is this play going on, Riz? I don't know. No! Ricky, that's nuts! Just got in on it, and that is perfect. That's the face you make when Ricky does that to you. Just left, absolutely. It's a 3v2, and we know where those last two players are for CLG.
Kustia kind of get the opening. That could have been the start of the retake, but he gets the second one onto Mo.
Now pulling back towards CT. Dozier gets contact on one. Cutler wins it out, though. Ooh, I think he saw it, but still good connection. But he does finally shut down on the frag, and now it's Kustia. He's going to hold it.
Yeah,
he is going to hold this. 2 seconds remain. One. He's done it. Good work from Kustia. Oops, Gambit. All right. Just, why not? All in. Doesn't go well. At this point, Zeus hoping. Now take out the door, gets a shot at it. You need to land it. No, Ricky again. Oh, well. 2 times in a row. Zeus has died to this sort of thing. And yet hates it.
I don't really know how many hours Chet puts in, but he always shows up to matches prepared.
He usually studies all the teams that we're going to potentially play or obviously end up playing, and Gambit was the first team, so we knew we were playing them. So he did most of the homework on all the maps that we would potentially play, and Overpass was one of those maps.
Chet just watches a lot of demos. He just goes into the game knowing how to counter-strat the team specifically, and he always contributes to how we're going in versing the opponent.
He puts in more time than any other coach I've ever had, and that doesn't mean other coaches have been bad. It's just he just naturally puts in a shit ton of time into watching other teams, studying them, watching us, trying to figure out what we could do better, etc.
Not too many coaches that I've played with or played under have really put in the amount of work that Chet does. So.
Right for Immortals versus SK, but this one. Yeah. Oh, I see. Now it's really annoying because I see a world. I see a reality where CLG do win this 100%.
We have had upsets today.
I could see CLG sitting in that semi-final doing all their homework. I'm a Pets grinding demos and they're in the grand final. I could see it.
If anything is going to happen, like it's going to have to be the fact that CLG has figured something out within the last couple of hours on, like if they knew that they were going in towards Train, which is obviously tough to do with the best of one.
Absolutely.
So yeah, no, I think this favors FNATIC.
Yeah.
Going into the match, I was confident. I think FNATIC haven't been as good as they previously were, so I don't think I've ever beaten FNATIC on LAN until that DreamHack, so that was a good one for me.
And a kit for Finesse and a very aggressive push. Already FNATIC are getting right.
The FNATIC game, I had a pretty terrible CT side, but I guess we did as a team. I only had like 5 kills.
On 5 rifles, including Dennis still on the Galil. A lot of utility in their hands, looking for heavy inner halls presence early on. Again, chasing down Ethan right away.
He's got a FAMAS, he's going to put down all 3 players. You're expecting him to get traded eventually. Top of the train. Now Finesse will pick up the M4 and try and spray through the smoke. He's going to be able to get 1. It's a 3-on-3, making it 3-on-2. CLG actually have the advantage now.
There's really no way to describe in words just how dangerous it is for FNATIC right now.
CLG. Cutler goes down next, and what a turn of events this would be. Just trying to peer in. Ethan can't see anything just yet, but oh, JW too fast on the trigger.
Been on a tear here lately on Train. They have a big lead. Will they keep it going? Kustia tries to get aggressive, but JW just continues
to
light up the scoreboard. He's been so good.
Like, I knew what I had to do, it's just I wasn't getting very many kills, so T-side came around and I was kind of like going for it, you know, it's like really forcing picks and stuff, like pushing through smokes and stuff.
Crims lining up the nade to bank off the wall, doesn't do quite as much damage as he's hoping, gets flash banged and taken out of the round for the time being. Kusa from the side is able to clothesline one player, not a second one, but he's already picked up two, and that's going to afford them a bomb plant. This is exactly what CLG were looking for, and they just got a whole lot better as Kusa comes good with yet another one. JW, who is dinked down earlier on, is all that remains, but not for too much longer. Kusa with a 4K. On to FNATIC, I'm not sure they have enough time here, and Crims did go for the defuse, but he burnt out. They used the smoke too early.
You just need to prepare well going into events, and I think that's what sometimes NA teams lack, is the preparation going into events. Because I think a lot of players in NA have a lot of talent, and now we have a lot of experience as well, so there's no excuse really. It just comes down to the amount of preparation you go in with.
From the train is going to dispatch the ball off, and Flash is going to be trying to come round, but good guy Kusta has his teammates back, and he's going to go to town with a 4K. He could be on for the ace. Dennis may try and spoil the fun here, but Ricky is the man to finish off regulation. We are moving to overtime, to the second time today.
At some point, I think they're up like 15-12 or 15-11, but honestly, like, wasn't looking at the score very much.
To try and use that train to his advantage, down he will fall. Dennis with a close range auto sniper. LG is still in great shape, but Flush is going to come through with another kill. He doesn't expect. This could be all they require. It's going to fire onto the site. There's no smoke to extinguish it either. Finesse may have just won the round. They're going to have to push him. There's one, and Finesse is going to be taking this one down in style in the end. One Molotov was all that was required. JW sick to his stomach.
First OT, we started T-side and we won 3 straight. We were like, oh, this is great. We're going to close it out right here. And then they won 3 straight.
It cost him his life, and we were discussing before about just how important CT rounds were in this overtime.
We got like 2 CT rounds and we're like, all right, we didn't get any CT rounds last time, so this is really good.
And now Crims in a 1-on-3, he's picked up 2 of them, and I think he did just catch a glimpse of Finesse's shoulder. Looking for the tap onto the head, it's been a laboured attempt, but Crims has got it done! Olof against Ricky, so much on the line. A tipping point in this map. Olof is going to come through, lands the headshot for the second consecutive time. FNATIC have got to get their move on, onto the site. Flusher, all he has to really do at this stage is just waste valuable time, but it's going to be 3 kills in as many seconds, and CLG have done it. We move to a triple overtime. My God. 3 more to go, but again, it's the GG Molly that is in play. The Cutler currently possesses, and Finesse with the flank is able to get 2.
So it was like both of us just beating our heads against the wall.
Cutler, the only player to answer back, and Ethan, well, he's got 4 players to fight. There's one. Likely will get clothesline from Dennis on the side of Ivy. Double to his left side will get the better of him, and a beautiful headshot onto Flush that keeps the dream alive. JW 1-on-4 is going to get 1 but traded out, and we're going to another overtime. The presence of mind, the clarity of mind to know a player might be peaking him there is impressive by itself. But he's not out of this round just yet because they went for such an aggressive start. He has over a minute to play with, but he has no health in which to use it.
So after the first overtime, after I think I 1v3'd them on the last round of that overtime, and it was a 3-0 start for us on T side, we were confident we were going to close it out, and we should have closed it out, but we didn't. And that's when it got really nerve-wracking, is when they were able to come back and 3-0 us. Specific conversation with Chet in freeze time where I was like, yo, Chet, like, any ideas? And he literally said, dude, I'm out of strats.
Throwing the nade, banking it off is going to do quite a lot of damage, but the bomb is now being defused fully.
Okay, so I haven't experienced that many games like that at an actual big tournament, but once it happens, you really like sort of learn to keep a level head. Otherwise, you know the game's just going to quickly spiral out of control in those overtimes.
Could be on point to pick up that elusive 3-0 or not. JW with the emphatic denial, and there's another one.
No, Dennis and Olafmeister, they're now coming in for a mess load of frags, and so it's all on Cutler to 1v3. He can't hack it, and FNATIC, they are at map point.
Elsewhere, as CLG are coming through ahead, Ricky with another one, and we're going to another overtime.
What is this?
A quintuple overtime.
My goodness, man.
I just called it based off instinct now. Everything that I knew went out the window at that point. It just was all about instinctual calling at that point, and I thought I was calling well on T-side as it was. So I just kind of went with my gut, and that kind of threw them off, I think. And we just kept gathering rounds on T-side, which is really important, and then eventually we were able to close out.
It could backfire horrendously though. Oh, he's missed, and that's going to cost him. Bot Crimson in such a good position to strike beneath him. Domes him instantly. And Ricky's there for another one. CLG, who are on the brink of collapse in the last round. Hold the phone for a second, because it looks like JW is about to be in a bit of confrontation. He's missed that chance. And the second, checking every corner. And there is Ethan. CLG have done it, the 3-0, but we've been here before. Here to land for CLG, you have to feel there's only 10 seconds left. FNATIC have got a push on the site right here, right now. And they're going to be getting kills, but this bomb going to get denied. Indeed, it will.
I think just the stamina and endurance to just play that much mentally is exhausting. It takes a lot out of you, and I'm sure it took a lot out of FNATIC as well. It's just, you're just at that point playing on fumes. Like it's really hard to consistently bring something new to the table.
Towards the end, there was like all 10 players in the server were just missing shots that they would have hit like half an hour ago, an hour ago.
He's always there, but still, SK Gaming on the T side, CT side is going to be CLG, and oh my word, we're going to have a bit of a B pressure play coming in soon. FNATIC could be already receiving a little bit of the attention, he knows what's coming, but Kuster is waiting very patiently down below. A surprise factor is Ricky is already on short, 3 players on beeps. Still has potential here, does now have the bomb, and the potential gets ripped away. Ricky going to find 2 for himself, and that B lockdown.
I think Mirage in general has been a weird one for us. We don't have the best percentage on it win rate, but I think it just came down to the day, and versing an opponent on Mirage that isn't as strat heavy and isn't as execute heavy, I think it played to our advantage.
10-15 seconds ago, we had 3 players on A, and the timing is perfect here. Ethan comes in, picks it up, and now the question is, what does CLG do?
Bomb yet to commit, and the timing, what? How did Phelps not land that? I thought that was almost a given. And now it's on FNS in a 1v2. Bomb yet to be planted, of course, so time is still decent for him. But can he find the throw? Oh, yes, he can!
Pushing in, Cutler's ready.
Yeah, this is a very quick place from SK. They want to catch him off guard, try and find a little bit of a chink in the armor, but no, not going to happen, and Cutler takes the head off of one. That'll be Fur, and then a swift round.
Cutler will mainly, he fills the roles more on the supportive side that enables other people like me, Kenny, and Ethan to get in there and get like the more aggressive frags and stuff. So he does play a lot more support.
I think he really thinks things through before he says something. So usually if he calls something, it's like the right thing. Color's just dependable like that. I know he's what play he's gonna make just because he wants to stay alive. Well, every support player will try to stay alive and have nades for you and stuff.
Holding his ground.
Ricky just has to play to that bomb, but that position is pretty awkward. Oh, did he hear that? Fur might have heard the drop then. Ricky round the back. The flank comes in. This would be incredible if FNS can pull this off, but they're charging at him. What the hell? 5, but oh my god, FNS! He's been given a chance. FNS has every opportunity, but no. And again, this is all done. This is all over. And Ricky's going to find Fallen Cold Terror, last man standing. CLG getting the first one surely on the board here. And there it is. Kuster seals the deal. First map under the belt. What a statement from CLG. None of the announcers test backed them. Alex got the tattoo and he still doesn't agree.
The biggest thing for us was just not giving them any space in mid. So Phelps couldn't get into window, and we knew Fur really liked to go underpass fast, and I think I killed him first gun round, and after that he didn't really know what to do apparently.
When you give SK too much room, they will annihilate you. They'll just destroy you on all parts of the map, and their lurkers only come alive when that middle part of the map is taken. Coldzera being one, Taco. So it's really hard. Other teams just give them room, so we just chose not to, and we just chose to take those fights in mid. Had we lost those fights, we probably just would have lost the game, but we won a lot of those fights and caused their lurkers to force a kill. You know they're going to try to make a play, like Taco's going to come out of Palace or somebody's going to walk out of B-holes, and if you're able to shut that down, which we did, then it's easy to get rounds on them.
If CLG win this one map, they are through to the finals, and what a glorious storyline that would be. But up against them is SK Gaming. It does make it uncomfortable for SK to try and play back in, but there's so many players alive. It's just down to Kusta now in the 1v4. No brilliance to be had this round for him. And SK get the start that they need. This might be a disaster. Wait, he sets the trap, the bomb gets dropped, and it's all theirs.
I think we were all confident going in to train.
All the SK players know what play they have to make to win the round, and they're not afraid of doing it. Phelps will just sit in ladder on train for a minute 55, and he'll like try to get into window and stuff, you know. And even though it stopped their mid-control a couple times on Mirage, it doesn't stop them from doing it. Especially when it gets into like this really scrappy mid-round fights on bomb sites. You know, they're not afraid to ask for a flash, go for multi-kills, and I think that's what sets SK apart.
Time is not on his side anymore, pre-firing the corners. Now he's going to start working it out, but Fallen's got a nice position into the right. Not expected, and he strikes.
They know how we play, we knew how they played. There was no, I don't think there was like mind games involved. I think it came down to them just having way more composure than we did.
Flash now, this is problematic. Ethan's in trouble. Maybe not. Sprays in, gets two. He knows what's up now. This guy's coming alive himself. Finally, he's going to put up a fight. 4 good kills for him, denying the bomb plant.
I think SK are just really smart, and their players mechanically are a lot better than other players. I don't really know. There's not much more to say. Like, they're just good.
It's just down to Ricky now. Had a great Mirage performance, but this might be a task a little too far. It is. Fallen gets SK Gaming back into this one. We're going to 3 maps. These are the semi-finals that define these teams. SK Gaming, you just said this matchup, sure, it does sit in their face.
I just want to be red face with the door smoke. Like, fuck the whole smokes, just do the door smoke and like run up mid. Yeah. So like we'll call those together, like the flashes versus the smoke. And we just storm up mid.
I think everyone's doing that hall setup, but one guy's on the barrel, one guy's fucking hall post.
Yeah.
Offer. You gotta flash fucking scream.
Well, since we're doing less things and like people are closer.
Yeah, like, the people that are mid, like make sure one guy gets in the corner, bait everybody else running up.
I think everyone knows they're beatable. It's just, they have so much, I guess, experience in just like not getting shook mid-game, and they don't like let up is the biggest thing. Like, we let up on train.
It's the semi-finals, bearing in mind, whoever wins this map gets a place into the finals.
It's hit 1 smoke for Fallen. And that's CT side of things. And once again, we see this 4-1 split that is very common on Cobblestone, where one player goes aggressive towards long and the rest are stacked towards B, and this is why Fallen coming up huge with 2 frags to start us off.
And it's a good choice. He's going to peek into it now, and Fallen is just better.
But they need to show us some kind of hope. And hope that's going to be this one with a double up setup. Ricky and Kusta.
They play their game at all times. Like, Phelps, for example, consistently plays aggressive. Fallen with his op changes up his playstyle, but he's comfortable doing it. I think all of them play to their comfort level. They never like stray away from that, but the good thing about that is that they know how to adapt really well as well. They all know when to stay disciplined and when not to. Like Taco as a lurker, when he makes his mistakes, he'll cause his team like big losses because of it. So you have to like have insane synergy on the team to make sure that like all 5 players are on the same page. And I think that's the difference between SK and other teams.
Breaks the entire push. Right now, Felico just goes for a nutty push and gets Cutler. And now, once again, Phelps going for aggressive play. He's got his pistol, so he should be able to shut this one down easily, and it should be 7-1 here.
He's working in towards it. He's not looked the right way, but he adjusts better.
4 bullets.
HP still, 4 bullets in timing. It's only a couple of seconds left. Cutler's messed this up. Oh God, Cold Sarah's an animal. That's the play you dream of as well. It doesn't matter at the end, but that is brilliant.
CT down there, floating away, and Taco through the wall. Through the door.
They do lose, especially to each other all the time. And I think C9 today, they beat Astralis, so you can really see that we're catching up, I guess. Like, NA is catching up, hopefully.
1v1.
Taco with the ult still.
And he's going to know where he is. Taco, and now he looks for the next place to strike. It's fallen its fur, and it's all going SK's way. This half has been so damn dominant. Prove me wrong, I dare you. SK Gaming them on the T side, we know they are monsters. They are nightmare material on this side, and Ethan already going to be cowering beneath his bed at this point, but good play thus far, spotting out 2, and Control fighting his demons as we speak. No bullets left in the clip, goes for the reload, but Kuster is there, and this is good stuff, a good start, and exactly what CLG required. It's called Zero. Looking for weaknesses, looking for opportunities. He might have just found what he has. Let's go through. Okay, and now he's on the other side of the door, and the other 2 players are on the other side. Cold Zero's made room, and this is an error, and this is a great play as well from Cold Zero. 1v1. Mon comes in. Cutler cannot stop that. But now it's all about timing. He plays to Rock. Cold Zero falls to Plat. Now we wait. Cutler, good timing. Didn't overthink things. Kept it simple. Played right back into it. But Ricky going all the way around, kind of cutting off any rotate is good, but no prediction on Cold Zero being here, really? Alright, still utility there for CLG though, so gonna smoke that up. Cold Zero smokes, flashes himself, and here we go. Game on. Flashed up his 1, and he gets away. Cold Zero, this is God tier. Let's go. 1v2 for him. He's got an AWP, he's got a CZ, and he's got the whole map. Cold Zero knows he has this in his hands. Cool, calm, collected, and it's all his. The bomb defuse comes in, and oh my god, he misses the shot. FNS. Oh my god. CLG, get it, Cold Zero. He wants this one. It's just on Cutler. SK Gaming surely going to be into the finals here as Cutler finds 1, but there's so many threats still alive here. Phelps and Fallen. Bomb's not going to go down. There's nothing to be done now. It's all SK Gaming. A valiant attempt from CLG, but truly...
We know we're capable of playing our own game, and when we do, we're able to win. And every time we change that, and every time people play out of their comfort zone, we lose. So I think that's the one thing we learned this tournament, a lot more than any other, is the fact that going into tournaments like the next tournament, whatever we have, we're going to play our own game a lot more instead of focusing on what the other team does, and kind of just play a lot more disciplined on Terra's side. I think when we play slow CS, methodical CS, and prey on the other team's mistakes, we usually end up doing a pretty good job.
The biggest thing that we need to do to win like BO3s and just maps in general, more cleaner, is just putting ourselves in the position to do so. Like you'll see some of the rounds on Mirage T side, or like when we played FNATIC or GAMBIT, our T side, like we just like set ourselves up for trades and stuff. Even if there was like 20 seconds left in a round, you knew where the kills were gonna happen and who was gonna get them.
I think we have the mechanical skill and the strats. I think it's just the consistency that lacks from different people at different times. So if we can pull it together and actually, it comes down to the day, really. There's so many events to qualify for now. The more you make, the better it is, and that's why consistency is required.
Yeah, it sucks not being able to qualify for events. Like we've gone to 2 as a team, and it's been 3 months, maybe 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, maybe like 3 months with Rick. I think that's like another thing that we really need to look at, is just getting to these events and making more playoffs and getting more experience, and then that's how we'll be able to beat like an SK and a BO3 or like an Astralis.
I think at this point it's just in people's heads, and the only way to get past that is to beat them. Now, I don't have like a formula or a crazy strat or anything like that. Like I don't have a strategy to beat them, but we're gonna prepare the next time we play those teams, and we're gonna do what we normally do, is just like try our best. But at the end of the day, I think it's just a matchup thing, and they just match up really well versus us. That being said though, it's not something that is in our heads when we're playing the game. It just comes down to they just play, they're super confident versus us right now. And I'm sure that'll change when we finally beat them.
The thing is, I don't really care about being the best NA team, because it doesn't mean anything.
Any event like I go to in general, I want to win everything. Like I just have the winning mentality. So I hope sooner or later, like we pull off a win.